Rachel, you don't know nothing about that.
I don't, but I like the beat.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Shakeback Sports Show right here on the Big Game Christian Sports Network. Rachel Hill still grooving to the music, even though it has stopped.
I hear it in my head still.
Oh man, that's Devin the Dude, man. That's from 2005. That's that Houston right there. He's from Houston, Texas. Belford and Scott, the sandwich shop on Belford and Scott. Anyway, that's enough of the music trivia for this particular segment. It is being brought to you by Zoomio. Well, let's tell you what Zoomio does. Zoomio is the one that helps you out if you are dealing with chronic inflammation, allergies, high glucose, lack of energy, and a growing list of other health issues. It's time to get serious about enhancing the quality of your life with premium products from Zoomio. Don't confuse this with the vitamin water because this water is hydrogenated with powerful antioxidants to help reduce inflammation and so much more at a cellular level. So it's high time to protect and improve your health by placing your order today by calling 214-505-9951. Once again, 214-505-9951. Tell them your boy, Willie Epstein Jr. and your girl, Rachel Hill, and your other boy, Marshawn Powers, told you to holler at them so y'all can set it off on your health needs. All right. Thank you guys out there for checking us out on Facebook Live as well as YouTube Live and the Twitter feed of the Shakeback Media Group. Rachel Hill is back with us for the second segment. As in the first segment, we talked about Cleveland and Baker Mayfield, who had surgery on Thursday on that shoulder. He's going to be out until, for 6 months. We also talked a little bit about the Cincinnati Bengals game as well as the New England Patriots game. We're going to pick up here with the other games that took place on Wildcard weekend. Of course, that was the champs as they dominated the Philadelphia Eagles 31-15. It wasn't even that close. Philadelphia was down 31-0 going into the fourth quarter, and the Eagles said, you know what, we're going to let y'all have a couple scores. San Francisco, the 49ers, they roll into the D and just, I'm not going to say they beat them up, but they did kind of beat them up pretty good. 23-17 over the Dallas Cowboys, thus sending the Cowboys home after one game. This is the 11th straight playoff appearance that the Cowboys have not made it to at least the NFC Championship game, the most in NFL history. Okay, Kansas City, they sent Ben Roethlisberger off into retirement after giving up a 7-0 lead on a fumble recovery by TJ Watt. It wasn't even close after that. They go on to spank the Steelers 42-21. Patrick Mahomes throws for over 400 yards once again, and Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill and McCole Hartman and Pringle. Oh my gosh, they showed up. Okay, and then in the final game of the weekend, the first ever playoff game on a Monday night in NFL history, the Los Angeles Rams, they took apart the Arizona Cardinals 34-11. Oh my gosh, did you see that one pass by Kyler Murray from his own end zone to try to avoid the sack? He ended up throwing a 2-yard interception return for a pick six, the shortest interception return for a touchdown in NFL history, as they got beat down by the Rams 34-11. Okay, Rachel, we're going to go ahead and look ahead to the Elite Eight, which includes, of course, the Cincinnati Bengals and the Tennessee Titans, the 49ers going to Green Bay in the frozen tundra to take on the Packers, Rams and Bucks, part 2 for 2021/22, Bills at Chiefs for part 2 of the Kansas City and the Buffalo Bills budding rivalry. So let's start with the Cincinnati Bengals Tennessee Titans game. No meeting in the regular season between these two. As we know, the Bengals won the AFC North, and the Titans are the number 1 seed in the entire AFC. King Henry is back. your thoughts on what it's going to take for the Bengals to pull the upset in Nashville.
I gotta roll it back a little bit. You don't have no commentary on Dallas?
Yeah, I do. We're going to get to that in a minute.
Man.
Come on, we're going to get to it in a minute.
Weekend was boring, but I like I was gonna say Kansas City. I like Cincinnati Bengals chances against Tennessee. I don't get a chance to watch Tennessee that much, because I'm watching the Browns, so I really haven't been able to see what they've been doing all year. But the best team in the AFC. In the AFC. So I think it'd be very interesting as a young upstart Bengals go into Tennessee and see what they can do. David, I wouldn't say David versus Goliath, but, can they go in there and pull the upset is the question. And I think that anything is possible. I think it's possible because not Kansas City. Well, I keep calling Cincinnati Kansas City. Cincinnati has not won for a while in the playoffs. They got their first playoff win in almost 30 years. So I know that they're hungry for some more. So Joe Burrow, you said, he was pretty pedestrian in that game, but you don't need him to throw for 300-400 yards. You rather him be around 100, 200, let Joe Mixon run the ball and let that combination, that passing combination work between him and, what's the receiver?
Chase.
Thank
you. You know his name.
Yeah, I drew a blank right quick though. I know, but I forgot really quick. Jamar Chase. So
is
that right?
Yeah, this is what I'll say about this matchup. It's kind of like what the Raiders should have done, and they actually kind of did, but they just didn't register a whole bunch of sacks. The weakest part of the Cincinnati Bengals team is the offensive line, and the strongest part of the Tennessee Titans defense is the front four. A lot like the Raiders, a lot like even the Rams and some other squads out there, the Titans can get pressure on the quarterback with just four. We've seen that. With King Henry coming back, I think it's going to be imperative that he is a good 70 to 80% of what we have known him to be throughout his entire career. If he's able to do that and somehow they can limit Joe Burrow in that vaunted passing attack, the home team has a very good chance to pull it out. But I said this in the first segment before you came on, Rachel. If there's a team other than the Raiders or the team that I picked to actually go to the Super Bowl out of the AFC, if for some reason the Bills were not in it right now, I will be pulling for the Bengals. And if the Bills actually happen to lose to Kansas City, I'm pulling for the Bengals the rest of the way. Because I actually had Tampa Bay come from the other side coming out the NFC, but I had Buffalo winning the Super Bowl. So at that point, I'll be pulling for Cincinnati to win the whole freaking thing. All right. 49ers. And that running attack with Deebo Samuel, who made up a new he made up his own position. He's a wide back. He's not a running back. He's not a wide receiver. He's a wide back. They go to Green Bay for the second time this year. The Pack won 30-28 in week 3 on the heels of a Mason Crosby field goal to win it. Green Bay, are they vulnerable to this rushing attack from the 49ers, Rachel?
Yeah, because they've had some vulnerability against San Francisco, over the season. And San Francisco is that team that comes in and surprises everyone. I don't know if people, had San Fran picked to finish where they finished at, but this is a team that is shocking the world. They were able to come from behind against the Rams, just going right into playoffs. And then they went in Jerry's world and beat the Dallas Cowboys. But, the Cowboys are going to cowboy. But, they almost gave Dallas a chance to tie that game up, because they're up and down. But, as far as San Francisco, I want to say that Green Bay is going to win this game.
No, we're not doing predictions right now. No.
Oh, sorry.
No predictions.
Sorry. Take that back. Run it back.
So yeah, so the you answered the question by saying that you think that the Packers are susceptible to this running attack by the 49ers. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo in the game against the Cowboys, Jimmy giveth and Jimmy will take it away. And he almost did that. He almost single-handedly snatched the victory, jaws of victory out of the mouth of defeat, or whatever that stupid saying goes, when he, number one, he overthrew, I think it was either Ayuk or the other receiver. I can't think of his name right now, but much like he did against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl a couple years ago when he overthrew Brandon Ayuk, he did the same thing in this game on a post corner route. Has Trevon Diggs just beat. And then in the fourth quarter, he throws the interception to Anthony Brown, and the Cowboys go down and get a touchdown from that. So we know that he will give it or he will take it, but he can also give it away. So for me, this is going to have to be one of those games, just like they played against them in the playoffs 2 years ago, where Jimmy's going to have to be like 9 for, 15 for 98 yards, and the San Francisco 49ers have 250 yards rushing. Now, Green Bay, I'm going to get to some this or that here a little bit later in the segment, but I want to do this because you pinned it when you said about Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys. And if I was going to say anything about them, I want to ask you, Rachel, we're going to do what did he say right now? Okay. Anything inside or outside of the world of sports that made you say just that. So, what do you have?
Oh, this was about the homework again, right?
You didn't do your homework. Oh my gosh. Okay. We'll come back to that in the third segment for Rachel, but I'm gonna tell you right.
Don't get on me.
It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. All right. So this is my this right here.
Well, I
wait.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, never mind. It's not playing. I had my sounder, but it did not play. So it is okay because I got another sounder ready to go. My what did he say comes from Mike McCarthy. I actually called him Mike McCrappy, head coach Mike McCrappy for the Dallas Cowboys, when he said this.
We're nervous to start the game. Felt it in the locker room with the team prayer, but I thought we fought through that okay. Let me take the word nervous back. I mean, it was a little angst, okay, which I think just like anything. I mean, they were excited. They had a great week of practice. I thought the pregame was good, but, I just think that maybe it was the first time we were doing this as a whole.
So he basically said, Rachel, that his team was nervous. And he really put everything off of him and onto the team. Now, Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, they have a weekly radio show here in Dallas on 105.7 The Fan down here, where he goes on every week and he says whatever. They've said this week that Mike McCarthy basically is going to be back. As a player, if you were a player that's playing for him and he said that about you in this game or about this game, what would your reaction be to that?
Well, first of all, saying that we were nervous, why would you say something like that and throw your boys under the bus or whatever? I don't know. It looks like you making your team seem like they kind of soft. So I I wouldn't really like it. I think he should have used the word angst from the very beginning and said, that they was juiced up because it was, a playoff game. So yeah, I don't really like that because it takes away from the toughness.
Rachel, let me tell you something about this city and their beloved Dallas Cowboys. I don't know if you saw at the end of the game where the fans were throwing stuff onto the field at the referees. I don't know if you saw that. It was classless. It was uncalled for, and it was embarrassing.
Hey, we threw bottles at referees during Bottlegate, so.
Well, okay, that's okay. But what I'm trying to say is this though about Cowboy fans, and it felt different this year around the city and around the area. It just felt different. They really believed the Cowboys were going to the Super Bowl this year. They really believed that. I mean, like, really believed it.
That sounds like a personal problem.
So when it didn't happen, the reaction from them really personified how they were feeling in terms of them being disgusted, hurt, disappointed, mad, angry, sad, whatever you want to call it, whatever emotion they had. The memes are all over the place out there on social media. They had that one lady, and she actually was on Instagram Live on Thursday with one of the TV affiliates here on Instagram Live. I loved every minute of it. And I said it last week on the Ballers Report podcast. I said it last week on this show. The San Francisco 49ers were the worst matchup that the Dallas Cowboys could have ever dreamed of. They were really hoping, in my opinion, they would never say it, but if I'm a Cowboy fan, I'll say it this way. If I'm a Cowboy fan, I would have really been pulling for the Rams to beat San Francisco in week 18 so they could get that fourth seed instead of San Francisco, or the sixth seed rather, instead of San Francisco. That way the Cardinals would have come here, okay, and they would have had to play the Cardinals again, even though the Cardinals had beaten them earlier in the year. That would have been a better matchup for the Cowboys, because the Cardinals probably are not, well, I shouldn't say probably, they are not nearly as physical as the 49ers. They can't bludgeon you on both sides of the ball the way that we saw the 49ers do to the Cowboys. So that's why I say that. And go ahead.
Kyler Murray is 8-0 in that building, though.
Yeah, but Kyler Murray, you could be 8-0 in that building all you want, but that would have been his first time in a playoff game ever. So it's a different animal. And we saw what happened. They beat the Rams. I mean, they beat up the Rams in LA the first time they played them this year. Look what happened in the playoff game. He looked like he should have been 0-8 as opposed to 8-0. So
my boy Odell was getting it in, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. And and for that team, and we talked about it last week as well. Matthew Stafford, who had the most pressure, Dak or Matthew? Matthew came through. Dak didn't. And that last call, we got about 30 seconds left to go in the segment. That last offensive call by Kellen Moore or whoever for the quarterback draw up the middle was ridiculous.
I had 2 for what he said.
Yeah.
I got 2.
Oh, okay. We'll come back on the other side and get that. As a matter of fact, that wraps up the second segment. Make sure y'all come on back on the other side. Rachel's got her what he say. We're going to get into some Cavs. We got a little bit more NFL to talk about too as well. So y'all come on back on your side of the break. Rachel Hill, Big Day, Willie Epstein Jr., y'all come back and holler at us.